What's up? Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, YouTube, Google+, whoever's watching this, wherever you're watching it. We are hanging. I'm doing a selfie stick little video with a friend of mine who I've known. Man, I gotta let shave. It looks like there's dirt on my face or something.
Yeah, shave that off.
No, but this is a friend of mine who I've known for a very long time. In fact, when I started out in the industry 15, 12, 13 years ago, I don't know, sometime after 10 years, I used to roll with the punches with this guy. See him in the back right there? There he is, Freddie. I used to roll with the punches with this guy. He was the photographer, I was the host. And we went everywhere together. Everywhere. And he's one of the best photographers ever. His skills are limitless. But we're actually in a meeting right now because we're talking about sales training. We're talking about education. We're talking about entrepreneurialism. We're talking about social media. We're just talking some business. And Freddie's back. Freddie's back. There he is, Freddie.
Back, baby.
So I'm gonna go ahead and bring the selfie stick a little closer and let you guys meet Mr. Freddie and we'll get to know Freddie a little bit. So
what's going on, guys? Hopefully everything's going well with you. I'm here with my boy and my dad, Easy, and I'm very thankful and humbled because literally, like he said, from day one he had me at hello, and I've literally watched this man and his dad build an empire, and I'm just thankful, grateful, and honored to know that as a result of him serving you directly, it truly does take teamwork to make the dream work, and he's here to serve, and that's all he's ever been about. And I'm just grateful and thankful to be in very awesome company right now. So thank you, Easy.
Thank you, Freddie. So in a minute or less, just your credentials and you know, let's see how good he really is, guys. Because someone that actually is trained and is a professional educator or influencer, really, can say it in 30 seconds, 40 seconds, a minute, in a minute or less. Why are you qualified to teach people how to do sales and be on my panel on August 6th?
Absolutely. Well, for starters, currently I've just built a small $300 million company with about 5 other people. Been number 1 in that area for the last 2.5 years in 9 different categories. I've also been around the country traveling, training hundreds of thousands of people in the automotive industry. So you can definitely Google and Facebook that, and you'll see the street cred right there for starters. But it's not me to impress you, but impress upon you how Easy loves to surround himself with people who are highly capable and able, but they're humble and hungry. And I think I did that in less than 30 seconds.
I think so. Yes, sir. All right. I'm seeing my peoples out there watching this going, did he say 300 million? What did he say?
Yeah. How did we get it so low?
How did you do it so quick?
Well, I can answer that question in probably 10 seconds or less.
All right, go for it.
It's all about the sequence. It's all about the structure. It's all about having the vision. Definitely got to get a mission statement because most people miss that step. And clarity trumps persuasion. Period of the story.
There you go. Now, for some of you guys out there might know who John Maxwell is, which actually I wish I could show it. I only have one phone, but John Maxwell's company actually said they approached me in 2013 as one of the top 100 entrepreneurs to be awarded by the John Maxwell Award. And so when I was talking to Freddie, he's like, "Oh, I trained with John Maxwell," and I was like, "Why does that sound familiar?" I have heard of that name, and then I found it on my email. So tell us, what's the deal with John Maxwell and what you're doing?
Absolutely. Well, that was one of my other biggest secrets since 2007. I actually met John Maxwell in 2008. It was a whole group of us, and we sat down with him for about a full 8 hours at the Anaheim Convention Center. And since then, I've been able to take his technology directly and drop it down. So if you want a freebie right now, go out there and get the 21 Irrefutable Laws of Leadership. That is literally an operations manual to help you and your team get from point A to point B. The rest of it, that's when the meter comes on and we talk. So
there you go. I love it. And so we're playing around with CEO space right now. Shout outs to Bernie, shout outs to Dave. And I was telling you a little bit about them, and you guys know, you've seen what we posted. If you don't know, look up my interview with Eric Zuli and Bernie Dorman. It's DORHMANN, which his dad actually trained Walt Disney. Les Brown, all the big dogs. So Dave, Bernie, I'm introducing you to Freddie here. See, now well, this is how this rolls. We do introduction digitally now. 2016, there's no more handshakes. It's a digital social media
my
introduction.
digital handshake guy.
There it is, right there.
It is a selfie stick.
And and he speaks your language. You heard 300 million, and so I want you guys to meet my man Freddie, and see what happens. CEO space, I think it'll be a great advantage. I think it'll be a great advantage.
300 million is technically small because some of the other companies I work with directly, we did 12 billion. The last one was about 11, 12 billion. So, but the whole thing about it was
Don't you owe me $1 billion?
I know, right? We just charged you to the game. But the key about it was that I had to learn these skills by being what they call an entrepreneur. So now that I've jumped on the entrepreneur side, it's almost like asking yourself a question. It's like, okay, so which bear are you going to be more scared of? The bear in the zoo or the wild grizzly that go out there and kill an elk? So now we're in wild grizzly beast mode, baby.
I love it. All right, so if you guys want to know more, man, follow me. I'll get you connected to my man Freddie, and me and Freddie are going to be doing some big things. We're going to be coming back together. He disappeared. He left me for a couple of years, popped out of nowhere, and he's actually going to be on our panel on August 6th for the Entrepreneurtainment Social Tech Concert and Seminar. He'll be doing, do you want sales training, like real sales training, like $300 million sales training? This is the man right here and his team.
Yeah, and I got to say, this is really, truly for professional use only. What I mean by that is, if you're one of those manipulative people and you don't know how to be transparent, this ain't for you. It's only for people who are heart-based, results-driven, and they truly want to share and give back. That's the only way these systems are going to work, because as you know, those used car salesmen with those little slimy stuff, that don't work in this new game. Anybody can Google you, anybody can Facebook you, anybody can Twitter you, anybody can see anything, so you better make sure your game is clean and tight, squeaky.
Yes, sir. And last thing, Freddie, I always do this with everybody because we're an entertainment educational news break. This is an Eyes on news break, by the way, so now my people will have their eyes on Mr. Freddie, okay? And give us what you would charge for a piece of advice that's like unbelievable when it comes to sales that could help my audience, if you don't mind.
Well, for starters, I do offer some complimentary things on my website, and if Easy Once feels comfortable with that, I'll be more than happy to share that with you.
Go for it.
But typically, our charge is anywhere from $6,100 to $12,000 plus, depending upon exactly what you need. So, again, this is not something that most people understand and respect, that this is sales training. This is life training. This is really, literally a self-improvement plan with a huge compensation package. I personally went through the results. I did it back in 2010. It's been a life-changing experience. That combined with the John C. Maxwell training and me already being an entrepreneur and an entrepreneur. So again, I don't say that to impress you, but impress upon you that when value exceeds cost and your pain exceeds the price, then perhaps you'll come see me. But for the most part, that's the reason why I have my 60-day entrepreneur challenge, because it'll be very selfish for me to sit here and not be able to offer something. But the challenge that I've also figured out with most people is, unfortunately, we say that we want something, but we're not willing to be consistent and persistent, and that's the key. So I do offer my 60-day course for free. Do you want me to give the website
Go
address?
for it, please.
Okay. So we've always been permission-based since day one, because that's my dude. Even when it came down to business cards, I would ask him. So just
now take that as a note, okay,
Yeah.
Mr. and Mrs. Circumvention out there that's watching, okay? Yeah. All right. Go for it.
Hey, you gotta have trust in this game. #trust, and you'll see Easy up on there. So the website is www.thisisfredsmith.com. Again, that's www.thisisfredsmith.com. It is free. You can cancel anytime. There are no upsells. Why? Because most people can't even get past the first week. And I have to say this before, I know he wants to wrap up, but typically, and this is scientifically proven, it doesn't take 21 days to develop a new habit. It actually takes 25. This was verified by NASA. This was verified by a lot of the thought leaders. And what happens is, if you miss one day, that's all it takes. If you just miss one day, you literally have to start all over again from ground zero. So what you're working to do is change your thought process, your mindset, what you can learn, what you need to unlearn. Is your glass half full, or is it all the way full? Just like if you happen to want to put a new car in a 2-car garage, you have to make a decision, right? Either you're going to take that one car out and put a new car in, put the other car on the side, but the bottom line is you have to make space. So that's what the difference between me and everybody else does. A lot of people talk this other crap, and yeah, we can go through there and I can dissect all of that. But at the end of the day, it starts up here. 80% up here, 20% of what you learn, and easy zooming in. So I'm going to zoom in too. So thank you guys. I appreciate you.
Now, I want to point something out too. Notice how I asked for a tip and like something he would charge for, but he dodged around it so perfect. So I guess if you guys want to get that sales tip, you're gonna have.
I'll give you a sales tip.
You give a little teaser.
I'm gonna give you. Actually, I'm working on something. I'm glad you said it just like that. I'm literally working on something for this weekend, and it is going to be part of a free 45-minute webinar. So I want you guys to write these words down or listen to this phrase. It takes no force to close. It takes no force to close. Okay? The interview is very important because what you're doing at the interview is you're collecting information. Okay? Then you have to have your transition statement. Why? Because it's a permission-based environment. Just like I used to ask Easy many moons ago, do I have permission to give my information out to somebody? It's permission-based, right? So that's your interview, that's a transition. Then you have your narrow and specific questions. Why are your narrow specific questions important? Because ultimately you want to ask questions, but not to the point where they go, well, what are you talking about? Very simple yes or no questions, right? Because they're also designed to go into the next step, which is the F. So you have your narrow specific questions and you have your features and benefits. But if it depends upon who you're talking to, you could also have benefits and advantages and what you're mitigating against. So it takes no force. Then you also start getting into your trial close. Now, this is where most professional salespeople get it all wrong because 90% of fundamental misunderstandings come from people not closing on the idea. So if a person is not in agreement with you after you've done your interview, you've done your transition statement, you've done your narrow specific questions, you've done your features and benefits, so it takes no force to, which is your trial close. So you want to close on the actual idea. So it takes no force, trial close.
Too close.
Exactly, too close. So then after the close, what you want to do is either close on your product or your service. That way you know for a fact, and you want to follow up with a little post sale to make sure everything's smooth. That's how you get your chargebacks to go from wherever they're at right now to practically zero. So I gave that to you. That is literally a multi-million-dollar secret. You can close people out of thin air, but it's not about closing people in as much as serving people. So, but what you want to do when you're selling is actually close on the idea. They have questions, so basically what you're working to do is take them down that thought process so that you can ask them, hey, what happens next? And they go, you know what, Fred, I love it. Couldn't agree with you more. Let's go for it. And that's how you get somebody from point A to point B. So that's your free tip.
Thank you, sir. I appreciate it, sir. So,
That's a good one.
Eyes on News, guys. EYEZON News. This is hashtag Eyes on News, and you're doing it the easy way. So that's why you got that information. And Fred's been a long time. That is actually really good. Really good. I've been in sales for 12 years, and recognizing buying signals and painting the picture. And I mean, I know the basics, and I've trained myself in learning how to do what I've done, but I have not gone to the point of learning from the masters of the masters. You can tell by the way he's talking. I mean, very, very educated gentleman. You want to know more? August 6th, Entertainment, Social, Tech, Concert and Seminar. Shout outs to all of our partners and everybody. There's too many to mention. Love you guys. Hashtag Easy Way. Don't forget it. Hashtag Easy Way. Use it when you post this video.